All right. For everyone listening, this is a really good story if you want to listen to the story along. It's a love story called Tangled Up in Blue. Early one morning the sun was shining, I was laying in bed, wondering if she had changed at all, if her hair was still red. Her folks, they said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. They never did like Mama's homemade dress, Papa's bank book wasn't big enough. Then I was standing on the side of the road, rain falling on my shoes, heading out for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues getting through. Tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. When we drove that car as far as we could and we abandoned it out west, splitting up on a dark, sad night, both agreeing that it was best. She turned around to look at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue. Tangled up in blue. I found a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell. But I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted down to New Orleans, where I happened to be employed, working for a while on a fishing boat right outside of Delacroix. And all the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I'd seen many women, but she had never escaped my mind, and I just grew tangled up in blue. She was working in a topless place and I stopped in for a beer. I kept looking at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. And later on, as the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same, but she was standing there in the back of my chair saying, "What's that, don't you know my name?" I studied something underneath my breath and she studied the lines in my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my shoe. Tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove and she offered me a pipe. I thought you'd never say hello, she said. You look like the silent type. And then she opened up a book of poems and she handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of them words rang true, and it glowed like burning coal, like they were pouring out of the pages, and they were written in my soul, from me to you. Tangled up in blue. I lived with them on Montague Street, in a basement down the stairs. There was no more winter and no more heat. Revolution was in the air. And then he started dealing with slaves, and something inside of him died. He had to sell everything he owned, and he froze up inside. And when finally the bottom fell out, I had become withdrawn. The only thing I knew how to do was to keep on moving on like a bird that flew. Tangled up in blue. Now I'm going on back again. I gotta get to her somehow. All those people we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some are politicians, some are carpenters' wives. I don't really know how it all got started, and to be honest, I don't really know what they're doing with their lives. For me, I'm still on the road, heading for another joint. We always did feel the same, we just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue.